Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the Angels in Politics broadcast, and I am the creative and artistic manifestation of Angels in Politics, and I am glad to be with you on this wonderful, uh, majestic, and magical sunny day. I just had to step into the light so I could feel that light uh, flow through my vessel. Um, so that's pretty much where I'm at, and I'm actually looking at these rose. Well, they're not roses. These flowers in front of my mailbox. I just love the color. I love the vibrancy. Um, so yeah, it's a vibe. Have you had your dinner? If so, or if you haven't, um, what will you prepare? Have you gone to the grocery store, to the farmer's market? Um, do you have your own garden? Um, do you grow your own food? Something like this. Um, if you did have your dinner, what did you consume? What did you eat? I would be keen to hear about it, and maybe we could share, or you could present me with some recipes or some tactics that you use to create a healthy, delicious, and fulfilling, fortifying meal for you and your family, because I'm all about that. I'm all about that. Right now, yeah, food is just so important. Yeah, food is just really so important, and like your food is your fuel, and you got to think of that. Like whenever you have an automobile, whether it's an expensive car or maybe not so much. At the end of the day, it still gets you from point A to point B, and it's super important because if things go awry and there are some malfunctions, you want to be able to address those quickly, and you want to know as much as possible about how to prevent those issues from arising or occurring in the future. So if you have a car that's running off of, I don't know, Coca-Cola instead of petroleum or whatever oil that you need or gas that you need for your car, that's going to be an issue. And look at yourself like you're a fine-tuned machine, a perfect machine. Look at that. Look at it as if you're this top of the line, brand new make and model, and instead of it being Mercedes or Porsche or something German, it like just say, oh, this is you, this is your name, and you want to make sure that you provide yourself with the upkeep and the maintenance and um, whatever constituent variables that are needed to operate and function at the most, at the highest or optimal level. So I'm with that. I'm so with that. So drinking plenty of water. It could just be fresh water, spring water. It can be distilled water, alkaline water. Um, Hot water with lemon, water with honey, water with um, whatever additives that you find at your Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, um, that can purify the body. Um, Coconut water, something that I really like, and I was on that kind of when I dabbled with Trader Joe's in college, and then when I got to New York, I started buying the coconut water. But it's really good for my shakes. But the food for sure, and I'm not gonna like harp on like, oh, what you should eat. It's definitely, we all have. There are varieties of body archetypes or body types, and we fall into these, maybe four or five, six probably categories. I don't know, but the Ayurvedic, I think that's the term. The Ayurvedic diet is modified according to your body archetype, and figuring out what foods are best for you, and then it can also go into genetics and your ancestral background, and maybe if you're predisposed to certain illnesses or sicknesses, you would want to mitigate certain foods and alter certain ways of eating that may not affect the next person in another way. So there are diets for people who are originally from China. There are diets for people who are originally from India, people who come from the African nations, and so on and so forth, and European diets, right? So there's so much that you can modify, and I don't think you should just stick to that one specific type of food. I think you should eat, you know, you should diversify your intake of food. But I think it's truly important to make sure that what you are consuming is conducive to the mind, the body, the soul, so you can keep your mind as pure and as clean and as calm as possible. And sometimes food can be a bit active in the body. It could cause a bit more activity within you that you're not looking for, right? So it's important to make sure you are consuming the rainbow, as they call it, which is just colors. You want to have your green, a lot of green, a lot of red and orange and yellow and blue, and you get that from fruits, you get that from produce. The vegetables, the tomato, cucumber, the aubergine, or what they call eggplant, which is really good if it's grilled and seasoned, zucchini, squash, I mean, onions, spring onions, the leafy vegetables. So yeah, there's so much that can be prepared for you, and I don't want you to think that just because you're eating healthy that it has to be nasty or without flavor. It can be flavorful, and it should be. It should be. You should infuse that vigor and vitality and your personality into your food. You want to make sure that you're infusing love and consideration and appreciation and humility into your meals. So be open to the various spices and the turmeric and the pink Himalayan salt and the pepper and cayenne and so many things that give give your food that extra oomph and kick. And yeah, yeah. So I was looking at my homegirl's live video. Shout out to my homegirl Chloe. But she made something really, really beautiful, and it was like fresh, and it was organic, and it's whole food, plant based, and I'm just so excited to see that from our people. I'm so excited to see my sisters and brothers out here in the world that are taking those steps to fully be conscious of the food that they're consuming. And not to say that you have to be on some like over the top, like you don't eat anything that was prepared a certain way and you have your nose up to the sky. Like I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying like fully being aware of the food that you prepare. And I used to be that big like fast food guy growing up as a kid or a teenager. I used to be at the Taco Bell after high school football games or some shit, and eating Burger King and yeah, the whole thing. And now it's like whenever I see that stuff, there's nothing wrong with it. It's more so like I don't have that reaction. I'm not attached to it. I don't have a desire for it. And I think that comes from uh, being aware of how your body operates when you eat different types of food. So that's pretty much all I have for today. I'm not going to get it past 10 minutes. I hope you're having a blessed afternoon, evening, and remember, you are the light, you are God, you are perfection, and don't let anybody tell you any different. So, namaste, namaskar.